In our previous lecture, we learnt about the conservation of linear momentum and the method to derive the equation. And later we understood a few illustrations for the conservation of linear momentum. So here in this class, let us try to discuss about the equilibrium of concurrent forces. So, equilibrium of concurrent forces. So, here a number of forces acting at the same point on an object are called concurrent forces. So, here you have a point. So, on this point, if there are so many forces which are acting on this point, so these forces are called concurrent forces. So let's say this is F1, F2, F3, F4, F5. So all these 5 forces are called concurrent forces. So a number of forces acting at the same point on an object, so they are called concurrent forces. So let's suppose you have kept a book here. So you have a book. So on this book, so let's suppose on this point, so there are like 3 forces which are acting in this direction. So then these 3 forces are again called as what? Concurrent forces. So a number of forces acting at the same point on an object are called concurrent forces. So if these forces are acting in the same plane, then they are called coplanar concurrent forces. So if these forces are acting in the same plane, then they are called coplanar concurrent forces. Clear? So you have coplanar concurrent forces and you have concurrent forces. Concurrent forces are a number of forces acting at the same point on an object are called concurrent forces. So if these forces act in the same plane, then they are called coplanar concurrent forces. So when there is no change in the state of rest or a uniform motion of a body on which these forces acting, then body is said to be equilibrium. So let us take this same example, book example. So let me add one more force here. So F4. So even after the application of 4 different types of forces, this book will remain at rest. Why? Because so F1 is in opposite direction to F2 and F2 is in opposite direction to F4, and these 2 cancel out and these 2 cancel out. So what remains is, so this book will remain at the state of rest. So that state can be called as equilibrium state. So for equilibrium of a body under which the action of system of concurrent forces, the system of concurrent forces, the resultant of these forces must be equals to what? That will be equals to 0. So you can see here. So F1 plus F2 plus F3 plus F4 is equals to what? 0. So what are we telling here? So for equilibrium of a body under the action of system of concurrent forces, the result of these forces must be equals to 0. That is what I have written here. So here we have used only 4 forces. So if you have n number of forces, then you can write F1 plus F2 plus F3 plus F4 plus so on to plus Fn is equals to 0. So this will be 0 only when the system remains equilibrium even after the application of these many concurrent forces on it. So F1 plus F2 plus F3 plus F4 so on to Fn is equals to 0 if the system is in equilibrium. Now let us take an example. So if two forces which are they F1 and F2, so act on a particle. So the requirement for equilibrium of particle will be what? F1 plus F2 should be equals to 0. So that is the requirement for the system to be in equilibrium. So now if this is true, F1 plus F2 is equals to 0, then I can also write F1 is equals to minus F2. So that means these two forces are acting on a particle and they are in opposite direction and they have got equal magnitude. So hope this point is clear to you all. So if two forces F1 and F2 act on a particle, the requirement for equilibrium of the particle is what? F1 plus F2 is equals to 0. So if this is true, then I can write F1 is equals to minus F2. So that means these two forces has the same magnitude but they are acting in the different directions. So hence here is a minus sign, then I can say they are in opposite directions. So this is the case for two forces. So now what will happen if we have three forces? So if three forces, so which are they? F1, F2, F3 act on a particle. So then what will happen? So you have got three forces F1, F2, F3 which acts on a particle. Then what will happen? So before that, don't forget to write the arrow mark on top of F. So F is a vector quantity. So if these three acts on a particle, so for equilibrium, so you need to have F1 plus F2 plus F3 is equals to 0. Now, or you can also write F1 plus F2 is equals to minus F3. So that means the resultant of any two forces, say F1 and F2, must be equal but in opposite direction. So that is the third force. So if I draw the diagram for that, so let's suppose you have F1, so you have F2, next for this, so F3 is this. So now from the equation it is clear that F3 is in opposite direction. So that means, so F3 will be like this. So this is minus F3. Clear? So F1 plus F2 is equals to minus F3. So this is when, when the system is in equilibrium, then this equation holds good. So you can also represent these three vectors in a triangle. So I'll draw here. So here you have got a triangle. So for F1, this is the vector, F2 and F3. So as you can see, the three vectors F1 and F2, F3 can be represented by the sides of a triangle. So this is a triangle. So these three forces are represented in the sides of a triangle. So if you observe, they are in same order. So they goes in an anti-clockwise direction. So this result can be extended to any number of forces, and the particle in equilibrium under the action of number of forces can be represented by using the polygon. So let's suppose you have 5 vectors. So then you can represent it by pentagon. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So this is what F1, F2, F3, F4 and F5. So these are the 5 different sides of the pentagon. So pentagon is again a polygon. So how many forces you have? F1, F2, F3, F4, F5. So if you have n forces, then you can use the polygon. Then the sides of a closed polygon should be in the same order. So that means the arrows should be in same order. So if you see, the direction of arrows are in same order. So next, the condition for equilibrium of 3 coplanar concurrent forces can be given by law of triangle of forces and Lame's theorem. So the first is, so this is for 3 coplanar concurrent forces. So for that, in equilibrium condition, then we can use law of triangle of forces, or you can also use Lame's theorem. Clear? So now let us try to understand what is this and what is this. So what is law of triangle of forces and what is Lame's theorem? So first here what we got is law of triangle of forces. So this states that, so if 3 coplanar, so here we are dealing these two with 3 coplanar concurrent forces. So these two will be the condition for equilibrium of 3 coplanar concurrent forces. Clear? So this states if 3 coplanar forces acting at a point can be represented both in magnitude and direction by the 3 sides of a triangle taken in the same order, then the 3 forces will keep the point in equilibrium. So what law states here? So if you have three coplanar forces acting at a point, and that can be represented both in magnitude and direction by the three sides of a triangle taken in the same order, then the three forces will keep the point in equilibrium. So to understand this, let us take three coplanar forces. Let F1, F2, F3 be three coplanar forces. So three coplanar concurrent forces. So these are acting at a point. So now for these three forces we can draw a triangle. So let's suppose ABC triangle. Then the three sides of the triangle will represent the force F1, F2, F3. So if these three sides are taken in the same order, then they will be proportional to the magnitudes of F1, F2, F3. So now for that, let us try to draw the diagram. So let's suppose here is the point O. So on this point we have three coplanar concurrent forces. So this is F1 and this is F2 and this is F3. So these three forces are acting at a point O. Now these three forces can be represented by the triangle ABC. So this is what F1. So F2 is in this direction and F3 is in this direction. So F1, F2, F3. So these three forces are in the same order, and moreover they gives you the magnitude of the forces which are acting at a point O. So here we have a triangle ABC, and this sides of a triangle represents the force which are acting on a point O. So at equilibrium, we can write F1 is directly proportional to AB. So if the system is in equilibrium, then only this point or the three forces acting on the point O will keep it as rest. So F1 is directly proportional to AB, F2 is directly proportional to BC, and F3 is directly proportional to AC. So if I write that in the equation form, what will I get? So F1 is what? F1 is directly proportional to AB. So here F1 is directly proportional to AB, F2 is directly proportional to BC, F3 is directly proportional to CA. And this three equation can be written in terms of F1 by AB is equals to F2 by BC is equals to F3 by CA. So this is what you can write from the above three equation. But the conserve of or the converse of the law of triangular forces is also true. So what will be the converse of this law? So if three forces which are acting at a point, so if these three forces which are acting at a point O, so if these are in equilibrium, then they can be represented both in magnitude and direction of the three sides of a triangle which is taken in the same order. So this is what? So this is converse of the law which we have learned above. So the converse of law is what? So it states that, so if three forces acting at a point are in equilibrium, then they can be represented both in magnitude and direction by the three sides of the triangle. So these three sides, or the vectors of these three sides of a triangle, should be in one order. Then only this will be true. So this is the law of triangle of forces. Next we have to learn about the Lamis theorem. So let us understand what is Lamis theorem. So the second here which we have got is Lamis theorem. So for this it states that if three coplanar concurrent forces acting at a point keep it in equilibrium, then each force is directly proportional to the sine of the angle between the other two forces. So if I write this statement here, so it states that if three coplanar concurrent forces acting at a point kept it in equilibrium, so keep it in equilibrium, then each force is directly proportional to the sine of the angle between the other two forces. So it states that if three coplanar concurrent forces acting at a point keep it in the equilibrium, then each force is directly proportional to the sine of angle between the other two forces. So if I write this in a mathematical form, so before that let us draw the diagram. So here again we have F1, F2 and F3, and these three are coplanar concurrent forces acting at point O. So now alpha, beta and gamma be the angles opposite to F1, F2 and F3 respectively. So now if three forces acting at O are in equilibrium, then we can write F1 is directly proportional to sine alpha, F2 is directly proportional to sine beta, F3 is directly proportional to sine gamma. So to understand this more, let us draw the diagram. So here you have F1, F2, F3. So for opposite to F1 there should be alpha, opposite to F2 there should be beta, and opposite to F3 there should be gamma. So that is what they have stated in the above 2-3 lines. So F1 is directly proportional to sine alpha, F2 is directly proportional to sine beta, F3 is directly proportional to sine gamma. So from this you can write F1 by sine alpha is equals to F2 by sine beta is equals to F3 by sine gamma. So this is the final equation for the Lamis theorem. So what it states is, so if three coplanar concurrent forces are acting at a point, keep it in equilibrium, then each force is directly proportional to the sine of the angle between the other two forces. So this is the final equation. F1 by sine alpha is equals to F2 by sine beta, which is equals to F3 by sine gamma. So hope you understood what is Lamis theorem and what is law of triangle of forces and the concept of equilibrium for the concurrent forces. So we have also discussed the definition for concurrent forces, and we have also discussed the definition for coplanar concurrent forces. So this is for this class.